Hello, my dear children. My name is Ratna. I'm your online tutor for English and Science subject. Today, we shall see the lesson The World of Microorganisms Part 1 from Class 8. Coming to the title, The World of Microorganisms, which is an unknown world, which we should learn about the world, that is microorganisms. What are microorganisms? The title itself suggesting that micro means very minute organisms, the living organisms, which cannot be seen through naked eyes. Then how can we see them? We can see them with the help of microscope as well as electron microscope. So coming to the lesson, what is given in this lesson? We shall see. So first of all, if we see that where do you find this microorganism and how do you able to identify them? For example, here are certain examples mentioned in your textbook that if you see the milk is converting into curd, and at the same time, if we keep the cooked food outside, then it will get spoiled after some time. And so if we observe what causing these changes, then we can conclude that there are certain things which are spoiling these food items or causing some changes in the environment as well as in the body. So first, to identify these, scientist Leeuwenhoek prepared one microscope. So he prepared the microscope to see very minute organisms which are present around us. Coming to the microorganisms, they are present everywhere. There is no space left without microorganisms. They can thrive in hot water, hot climate, cold climate, soil, air, icy land, icy areas, everywhere they are present. So that is why we should know the unknown world. We should explore the unknown world. Then only we would be able to live successfully without any illness. So if we are coming to see this image here, in this figure, you will see Leeuwenhoek, scientist, and the first microscope prepared by Leeuwenhoek. And Leeuwenhoek prepared single lens microscope. He has prepared single lens microscope, and this is the model present here. So what is the use of microscope? Microscope, that means the microscope is making the image very micro images into a larger condition. So that is why microscopes are very useful. Up to certain years, we were dependent on only simple microscopes. Simple microscope, and then complex microscopes and electronic microscopes in such a way that now we are able to analyze all these microorganisms into 3D dimension, as well as we can enlarge them, we can see in big images. So now coming to these images here, if we see all the microorganisms, how are they categorized? Microorganisms are categorized into various types like bacteria, fungi, algae, protozoa, and viruses. And one more class is also involved here, that is the microarthropods. All these are the images. Here we will see, because this is the introductory lesson for you regarding these microorganisms. If we see that all these organisms are visible only through microscope. And at the same time, we have to find one more thing, that we cannot see them without any staining of the microorganisms. And so that is why we will use some strains in the laboratory so that we'll be able to observe them clearly. Microorganisms are both useful as well as harmful. If we consider them half is to half, 50% uses, 50% harmful nature, both we can observe. But we are making use of the harmful effects also by preparing vaccines, by preparing antibiotics, etc. So anyways, now according to your lesson, if we come to this lesson, here if we see these images, the first line we will see coccus, bacillus, lactobacillus, all these are various types of bacteria. And even if we see that the microorganisms are proved sometimes very harmful because of their rapid multiplication. They multiply very rapidly. So that is why we'll get diseases immediately after coming into the contact with other persons. Nowadays, we are seeing the severe conditions of COVID-19, that is coronavirus. What is this virus? This is also one of the microorganisms. We'll talk about that when we come under the group virus. Now coming to Coccus, Bacillus and Lactobacillus. All these bacteria are of various types depending on the shape. They are round, they are rod-like, they were spiral, they were like a comma. So all these are various varieties of bacteria, and bacteria are present inside our body as well as outside our body, inside the plants, outside the plants, inside the animals, outside the animals, everywhere they are present. Even though they are present or inside of the body, we are being able to manage them with their presence. Why? Because they are giving a lot of uses to our body. They are helping in the digestion process. They are helping in maintaining the body acidic and basic qualities. They are converting macromolecules to micromolecules in such a way. So if we see these microorganisms, depending on that, for this bacteria, we will get even medicines also if you are getting various diseases. And now coming to the next step of these images, that is, here we will see the another class, fungi. Fungi here, if we see the images, Penicillium, Rhizopus, Aspergillus. So what are these? In general, we will see, we have come across the bread mold, which is the common example everywhere we can observe. Immediately after seeing this rotten bread, we will throw it away. But what is that? The bread mold is called as Rhizopus, fungus. And at the same time, even if you see the another fungus, that is Penicillium, through which we will see the antibiotic penicillin, which is one of the powerful antibiotic was used. It was used in the Second World War time to heal the wounded soldiers. At the same time, Aspergillus is also there. That means if we know the life history of microorganisms, it would be better for us to develop antibiotics, antibodies, and vaccines so that we will get protection from this microbial effect. So as you see here, bread mold, if you observe this bread mold, this is simply everywhere you will observe when food is rotten. At the same time, another example of fungi also you might have come across, that is the mushrooms. Mushrooms are, they also come under the fungus group. We eat mushrooms because of its nutritive value. So that is about fungus. Another class is protozoa. If you see the protozoa here, the first example mentioned in this image is amoeba. Amoeba, single-celled animal, single-celled organism. Why are we calling here animal and organism? See, organ system, and organism. Cell, tissue, organ system, organism. That is complex multicellular organism we are talking about. But whereas if we see amoeba, amoeba is a single-celled organism which is having pseudopod. It will swim in water. It will have food vacuole, etc. So basic life starts from a single cell. So here in protozoa, we'll see single-celled organisms. Another is paramecium. This is also called as slipper animalcule. It appears in slipper shape. And another one is verticella. So all these three examples are mentioned here for protozoa. Even you might have come across malaria. Malaria is caused by the parasite, malaria, plasmodium. And now another category here is algae. You are having three images here regarding algae. One is Chlamydomonas. We can call this Chlamydomonas as connecting link because Chlamydomonas is having chloroplast in it. At the same time, it behaves like an animal. Because it's having chlorophyll, it can make its own food. Means it's behaving like a plant. At the same time, it will show the qualities of animal also. So that is why scientists have categorized Chlamydomonas into plant as well as animal. That is the border. At the same time, if you see Spirogyra, another example for algae, and diatoms, again, they are one branch of algae which are used in making candles, etc., filters, etc. And spirulina, another example is spirulina and Edogonium and Serratium. All these are the examples of the class algae. And next one is microarthropods. Microarthropods, they are cyclops, Daphnia, scabies mite, and eyelash mite. So these are some examples here as microarthropods. Now coming to the group of microorganisms, as we have discussed here, bacteria, fungi, protozoa, algae, and even another one, which is the major one, is virus. Virus is called as a connecting link between living and non-living things, because virus, when it gets the host, then only it would be able to reproduce, and immediately it multiplies, causing various diseases. So it is very difficult for us to get medicine for virus, whereas we can cure bacterial diseases, but difficult to cure viral diseases. Example is common cold, viral fevers, etc. So whenever we are attacked by these viruses, we can develop antigens in our own body depending on our resistance. So if we want to get resistance, what we have to do is that we have to eat balanced food. We have to keep ourselves healthy and fit. Then only we can withstand any microbial attack. That is what required nowadays situation, especially the COVID-19 is creating havoc in the society. Entire world is in the terror of coronavirus. Now coming to this activity, why are activities mentioned in the textbook? See, whatever book knowledge we acquire, it is not sufficient for children, because by doing activities, our brain will catch the same matter and it will try to remember the content what it has received. That means the activities are related to the matter which we studied in the above section. That is the major groups of microorganisms. Now, what is the activity here? In fact, these activities are to be done by children so that they'll enjoy science. At the same time, they learn science through activities. So the first activity here, it is mentioning that you have to collect some water from pond, and at the same time the scrapping, green is scrapping from the pond sides of the tank. And if you put that material on a slide and if you observe under the microscope, you will notice certain microorganisms moving, and that is what required, that you should learn how to use microscope, how to see the microorganisms. When you see them, then obviously you will take care about all these microorganisms. You will keep your body clean and neat. Otherwise, we will be having the attack of microbes on our body. So here, the first activity shows that you should collect water and see the microorganisms under microscope by putting these water droplets on a slide. And if you want to observe them very carefully, clearly, then you have to add some coloring agents for them. Staining, that's called as staining. So now, if we see the microorganisms, you would be able to differentiate various shapes, sizes, and the movements of the microorganisms. How are they appearing? How are they multiplying? In front of your eyes only, you will observe the multiplication of microorganisms, which is a alarming effect, which we should know very well how they work. That is why generally people are affected by typhoid, cholera, jaundice, malaria. All these diseases are acquired only because of lack of knowledge, and we are not careful enough to keep our body in good condition. Now coming to the class of fungus. And as we have seen that already discussed about the mushrooms. Mushrooms are everywhere, especially you will find them in the rainy season on trees, on any rotten material or dumped material or grassy material, fields. And these are nothing but the fungi. And another activity here is mentioned for you, that is activity 2. In this activity, what is telling is about the rotten material you have to observe. What are the rotten material? Some vegetable part of any rotten part, and rotten bread or rotten coconut. You have to scrap them and put them on a slide, and you have to observe the images under microscope. And you should learn the drawing also, especially if you are a science student. You should be very well known about the drawing features. What you have seen, you have to draw as the image is appearing in the microscope. And next is the observation of bacteria. See children, we are going through the matter that is given in the textbook. So stepwise also, we are trying to learn them. See, what is the use of this method? The use of this method is that the sensory organs will be getting the correct instructions and will become sharp, because brain will be able to catch the matter very quickly, because our eyes are also seeing. At the same time, you are able to listen them also, and it will print immediately on your brain the matter. So that is why you should go through the textbook and you should try to learn the matter that is present in the textbook. Now here, if we see observing bacteria. Bacteria, as already discussed, that we have observed them in the buttermilk. That means even if you see the microorganisms present in bacteria, that is the bacteria in the curd, at the same time, if we scrap some matter from the tongue in the morning also, you will observe the microorganisms. That means the useful microorganisms are present in the mouth also. At the same time, intestine also they are present, as we discussed earlier. So in such a way that we can come to the conclusion that bacteria are present everywhere on the trees, as it is said, soil, air, water, hot conditions, cold conditions, everywhere they are present. Only thing is, if they are present on our body, that is our prime responsibility, that we should get rid of them by keeping our body in clean condition. So that is why every day we take bath and we change our clothes. We will not use the same cloth, which again promotes the diseases. So that is why keeping our environment as well as keeping our body in healthy condition is required by each and everyone. Now coming to the activity 3, again another activity for you, that is you have to take some drops of buttermilk and put it on the glass slide, and slightly you have to heat the slide, and after that you have to add certain crystal violet, that is the staining agent. And if we observe them under microscope, then again you will see the lactobacillus bacterium. Lactobacillus is present in the curd. That is what you'll see. Sometimes what happens, if we see these microorganisms moving in the curd, then it is difficult for us even to consume curd also. But anyways, they are useful for us, and that is why we have to take this lactobacillus in the form of curd. Both milk and curd are very useful for our body. Those especially who are vegan or vegetarian, because they get rich proteins, vitamin D, and all other minerals from them. So next, coming to this box here. What is this box? Do you know? What is here trying to tell us? Again, in this do you know box, we will see that what are the major diseases which are caused by bacteria, because they are present around us. And at the same time, that they can withstand with very high temperatures and very humid conditions, very cold conditions. So that is why we should If we know about the life cycle of these microorganisms, then it would be easy to tackle them. So at the same time, coming to the observing algae here, greenish material, algae again, we will see various classes of algae are present. If you go to the higher classes, you will go through them in detail. And see, these algae are coming under the plant category, and they'll be in various colors also. Again, to identify the algae, you have to collect some water from the pond, and these greenish scrapping, especially these microalgae, are growing in water, which is very helpful for the aquatic animals. Aquatic animals like small fish feed on this algae, microalgae, and then bigger fish will eat smaller one. So in such a way, the entire food chain goes on, that each microorganism is a food for other big organism. So that is the food line, food cycle. So observing algae, we can see that these algae are found in the water tanks, ponds, everywhere, which will do photosynthesis because they are having chloroplast. And another one is activity 4. And here, activity 4, what is there mentioned here? That is, we have to collect some sample. So if we observe activity 4, we have to take some strands of green algae and then again put the algae parts, some parts on the slide. And if we observe slide by using cover slip, we have to close the strands, green strands, and observe under microscope. Then we will study the cell construction of the algae. And these are major part of the earth water is considered or used by these algae, and which are a very good food for other organisms. Now coming to the protozoa. Protozoa again, they are under the category of microorganisms, and they are also living in water, soil, air, everywhere. So to grow protozoa, we have given here another activity 5. So what is the activity here? In this, we have to take some hay. Hay is dry grass. We have to put the dry grass in water and keep it for 3 to 4 days. After that, we have to collect some drops of water and put on slide and observe under the microscope. Whatever you have seen, you have to draw them. Again, you will find some micro protozoans there. Another class is microarthropods. In fact, these microarthropods, the name is saying that they are micro, but they are visible to naked eye because they are um, having various sizes. They create various diseases also. They are scabies mites, and they can produce diseases for our skin as well as eyelids, beddings, rugs. They are found everywhere and they cause diseases. And the most important part is that they are used in the soil fertility. How? Because they convert macroorganisms into microorganisms. They eat and digest, and they help in making the land fertile. But what we do is that we go on using that fertile soil, and artificially we use various fertilizers which are killing these microorganisms, as a result of which we are also getting diseases because we are losing immunity. We are exposed to the artificial chemicals. Another one here, do you know? Again, what is this? Do you know? Here is about the richness of the soil, topsoil. If we see the soil category, topsoil, middle soil, bottom soil, every soil is having its own quality. The topsoil is always rich in microorganisms, and it is having bacteria, fungi, protozoa, microarthropods, viruses, everything is there. And this is called as rich soil because of the presence of humus and because of the presence of microorganisms as well as micro animals. They convert these materials into minute simple things, decomposable thing. That is why decomposable material will see. biodegradable. All this biomaterial is degraded into the earth, which increases the fertility of the soil. And coming to the activity 6, observing soil microorganisms. Here another activity is given that we have to collect some soil from any field or some any farmland. Then have to mix that soil in water in a beaker, and after mixing that we have to collect that water and again observe under the microscope. So then we will observe, we will see various microorganisms under various categories like bacteria, fungi, algae, etc. And now here big images are mentioned here. See, these are nothing but the viruses. When we are saying that viruses are not having life, then what is this image? Because viruses are called as the connecting links. In fact, viruses are dead. We cannot consider them as any living. But immediately when viruses acquire any host, it takes the shape of the host and it starts rapidly multiplying, which is the cause of our common cold, etc. Immediately you'll get infected. Even COVID-19 is coming under the category coronavirus. Because of this only, we are unable to get the resistance. People are dying because of pneumonia effect, because it is affecting the lungs. That means it is entering into the lungs and multiplying and damaging the lungs. That is why the viruses are attacking the organisms, and they'll take the shape of the organism, whatever may be the shape, irrespective of any shape or size of any organism. When they get the favorable conditions, they immediately start multiplying. So here also we'll see two images. One is the upper one is HIV image, HIV virus, and the second one is tobacco mosaic virus. That means after getting infected, the virus will have its own shape. So even though both are virus, both are coming under the virus category, but their shapes and sizes and behavior is entirely different. The virus will mold itself into the shape of the organism, the host organism, where it acquires all the nutrients. So as a conclusion, if we come to the conclusion, the microorganisms are omnipotent. We can say that they are present everywhere. They can live anywhere because some bacteria will have some protecting coat around them and they'll be safe in their coat like a capsule. And immediately after getting the favorable conditions, they start multiplying. So that is why they are present everywhere, inside the animals, inside the organisms, inside the plants. They can survive. Only thing is that we also have to survive along with them. The only thing is that we should have resistance. Immediately if any organism, any microorganism is entering our body, then our body will produce some antigens against them. That is, our body tries to defend on that microorganism. Our blood will produce, that means even our white blood cells will try to attack them, and by doing that they will produce some kind of chemicals which will enable us to live along with them. So that's why when we are having resistance, if we take balanced food and if we do exercise regularly, if we keep our body in healthy condition, then only we'll be able to come out of these dreadful diseases and we may not be attacked by them. And even see some more diseases like typhoid, tuberculosis, and sepsemia, that is blood poisoning, are caused by bacteria, and some of the skin diseases are also caused by fungi. And even the skin diseases caused by fungi, it takes a lot of time to get removed by those infections, because fungi, once if we are attacked by fungi also, then it would be difficult for us to get rid of them. So that's why we have to keep our body clean. At the same time, we have to wear only washed clothes regularly, have to change clothes, especially undergarments and socks, etc. So wherever, if they get the favorable conditions, that means immediately they are attacking us. And even if you see the diseases like malaria, amoebiasis are caused by the protozoans. As we discussed earlier, like protozoa. Malaria is also caused by protozoa, especially by mosquito. And amoebiasis, another amoebiasis is caused by amoeba. So all these are microorganisms. If we know the life cycle of them, then it would be very easy for us to manage our lifestyle, and we can keep them away from us. So that is about your lesson, microorganisms, part 1. And now coming to some key points here. If every time, immediately after completing the lesson, you'll get the main points. So these are the main points. That is the essence of these lesson only, this lesson. Microorganisms are minute living things. We cannot see them with our naked eye. So after going through these important points, then obviously would be able to produce the entire lesson which we have read. I hope you understand well. Thank you so much.